Let's bring in Afra Zhao Wang. She's the host of Loud Murmurs, a Chinese language podcast about American pop culture. She is also a writer focusing on culture in the U.S. and China. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, how do young Chinese view their future and job opportunities, especially right now with unemployment high? And how does that view differ between millennials and Generation Z?
I would say there's this very trendy laying flat movement, which is pretty prevalent online. I see this laying flat movement as a more like a passive aggressive calling for more equal society and more job opportunities. So what is laying flat movement? It's basically a lot of young people, millennials and Gen Z, they choose to opt out from either getting married or having children or purchase a home or a car or joining a corporate for money. I see this younger generation, especially Chinese Gen Z, are considered one more culturally confident because they were born and raised up into a much more stronger and culturally confident China. But the other one is they're also basically facing, a lot higher real estate prices, a lot more, unaffordable living cost, and so many more pressures. I think I can see, a lot of different elements are putting together in terms of what the young generation of Chinese are facing in their realities. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned pressures. I want to touch on that. What kind of pressures are these young people facing today?
Yeah, I think there are definitely multiple kind of pressures. One is since working is not the only way for them to building up their self-identities, so they are less likely to associate their self-identity or their self-value with working, so they're looking for more flexible and more interesting jobs to work on. And the second is, of course, the ones we touched upon before, the high living cost, the intense working hours, and the big cities' unaffordable real estate prices.
So a little less traditional than other previous generations. Much has been made about, and I see them discussed in all kinds of media, Generation Z and their tech prowess. They've grown up with tech, their future buying power, their current buying power. How popular is Chinese culture with this generation? Is there a new trend inward? One statistic I want to read to you, over 60% of this generation will consider domestic brands than foreign brands.
Yeah, absolutely. I think China's Gen Z are considered to be more culturally confident, and they have this natural tendency to affiliate themselves to traditional Chinese cultures. Their patriotism make them more willing to support national tides, which makes a lot more sense. But it doesn't really mean that they favor excessive consumption. I think they're really smart consumers. They love to delve themselves into online spaces to cultivate interest within a smaller groups and also talk about, which one is more wise to purchase. So made in China, I think in their mind does not translate into low quality manufacturing. It's injected with more ideas such as, the Chinese philosophy, the Chinese aesthetic, and as well as the great top tier designs.
We have less than a minute left, but got to ask you quickly about Youth Day. May 4th is Youth Day here, but in China they celebrated yesterday. Explain the significance of this day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is such a great day to memorize how young people in China 100 years ago propelled China into a better, more modernized, open, and rational society. I think today is, again, we want to use this day to celebrate the history as well as the spirit of the Chinese youth. Yeah, may the 4th be with you.
You as well, Afra Zhao Wang. Thank you, as always, for joining us. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.